Osanabo sumide di kayanensu eye fiada. Obadie edi adomye. ITV so ana oguso wohwe wi Premtobere Kasie. Ebra so say di ebesomo. Ensem yi yaboaboa no free on maimu amanone ensem ana afin so eye agudi mu ensem semedua asemo no okọ abefo tentan so a eye ITV Ghana Insenia Television. Wo Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and some would don't ever ho. Or modern selber comment, like ya shall follow Edia Maye. Na from so who dear air costo casua. Nina no quantum pony so anti Mercy Junction. A higher and you would and some would do I son so crojeno. Yede ever sumo. Dear Betty Cassiwema Cotini be NSA. A year Minister for Labor, Jobs and Employment, General Society. One boy you may have phone by Pias and Yama Bibrenano and a cost over ye dream and into Modinia Mapa, ego up no so. Na a ye GJ and such as say, and some trough for your tetsi ye ha ya dodo, and into which nano dear see ya. Reports about qua or media house back or join news. A year a strap for tetsi na bra bonia genono, over say, who may ya say, sa strap for near do family council, and yes, I and ye pose for you may be one man and some training be see as ye. Ye but to us on your call and some from one. A year dom do one about Denny or churchy, a year NPP, a year dom Kumano elbow, a year Mashabidum. Or German say NPP a buy mono, no can Russia and Ukraine and talk anti, a massy dinner or dinner baffom, and will be so. So Russia and Ukraine talk on a twitchana. Way and your foot binum a cahonia de Baba Sumo. Say we are Premtobere Kasie wo ITV so mo so for me ajiwa pinamai ye twa ye ho ba ye ba ye den sem no nchemu nyina ebeba besomo. Mamenda wasesa wajibre na wadi atwe ya fe yendo nsem ni na mu esuko na Minister for Labor, Jobs and Employment Abdul Rashid Hassan Pelpo wadi atudwa se enema bebre na no ana ekoso ewe yenwumem enwuma hia se wadi ne mapegu apono so se de be ya dwumayani bia no ho ebetumi ahenhan no na wadi sansem ya atudwa wotwe se die wo mo adan Special Occupational Safety and Health tax force Womadi Castle when you made at Sakura Dada. No, the Sansa Munina at Tuja, 2025, Health, Environment, Safety and Security Leadership Conference, of course, so one cry, and announce what the Sansa me Tuja.
As Ghana continues on this path of economic transformation, we must ensure that our progress is underpinned by safe, healthy, and dignified conditions of work, whether in the fields of construction, mining, manufacturing, agriculture, logistics, or the services sectors. Occupational safety and health should not be seen as an afterthought or remedy, but rather it must be seen as a fundamental pillar of sustainable development and productivity.
Yatwaso ni akọ emrahye na domdodo no ba no deni ewo mrahye bedwum Mahama Ayariga wa chechi NPP minority ni pan ye wo chemu se wo NPP aban mu no na watai kan sembebre se Russia ni Ukraine tokwanti ama bibia boa ya den yesidi na ho den kran so asan abafom sansem we no chese brebia NPP fo beka ho nsem ewo maban mu bia no na akoba ne se NDC fo so wo monte ase da esansa Russia ni Ukraine tokwa no wo hwa mama ya hodo wo mo ekoso pam na so Ghana de bia ne yede no ase yedi twitwa agi ye ho we na wo mrahye bedwum abra wo no mo anobaba ye ede afa 2025 media budget ekoso ewo mrahye bedwum no ana wo bi sa NPP minority ne se sidi na ho odin wo NDC aban mu no apeja pa ejina na so enmonyama basidi no mu na wo chewo se Russia ni Ukraine tokwa na to atwa na esanse woni de onim da wonji ndi esanse wo muguso wo mo ekum nanso NDC aban mu no sidi no ekonenim pa.
So Speaker, we have just listened to my colleague, the minority leader, and I think that as he spoke, I recalled our days in this chamber with he and Chairman Sabonsu as majority leaders. Indeed, the beginning and the end of Ghana's economic problems was in Ukraine. I'm tempted to believe that the NPP as a party and a government has benefited more from the Ukraine war than even the Russians who started it. I won't be surprised if Ukraine sues NPP, because the NPP has overexploited the war. Mr. Speaker, as I listened to the minority leader, I recall vividly sitting on this side and over 88 members of parliament on the NPP side in government petitioning and indeed threatening to leave this house because they wanted their very failed finance minister dismissed. Their finance minister had performed so abysmally that over 88 of them marshaled their numbers and wanted the finance minister deposed. And I'm surprised today to hear the minority leader attempt to obliterate that record from our history. I hereby remind you, which finance minister? You are boasting of social intervention programs. Ken Ofori-Atta capped every single social intervention fund in this country.
Yatwa ensem no so edi amao na Ghana Journalists Association yetwaniti awase GJA woma kasa nyini na afa ensem trofo a aya ne yeteti wo mo ewo man mu sensem trofo eni wiase anka menji ni se de rubansem ebekọ achi nanso wo hwe adwuma ensem trofo ye ya bo man mu nanso akoba ne se bebre na no ebi eni enso wo hwe na sentima Blakuma North eye election ekoso a na eni enyan ensem ya wano nso ya bro no wuye no efri wono ma ensem trofo bebre na no ane de wo mafa kwan bi so a enye we nam so ama president wono ene da GJA anom wodi atudwa ayakwabna dwomfo kyeremo se de ekoso no eni enyan se eye aposifo ahwe ho nsam no mo anka wonjumedie bie no wono ma ensem trofo ebekọ ase.
If the Ghana Police Service fails to act decisively within the next 7 days, as already stated, the GJA, in consultation with key stakeholders, will announce a nationwide media blackout of all police activities. We will instruct our members to withhold coverage of police events, refuse participation in police press briefings, and suspend all forms of editorial engagement involving the police. Again, the military should understand that failure on their part to expose and sanction the said perpetrators of this crime will also have damning consequences, and we will embarrass them.
Yedaswa ejina GJA ensemwa na eye nsemtrofo a yetete wo mo ha wo mo ewo man mu no emu nsama hunkomodi anakoso enam soma president awono eneda GJA anokwabna dwomfo kyemu se wo sha posifo a yetete wo mo mfie bebre mu nie na so no de won kan kwa achi bia wo bisa posifo wo hye wo mo se be ya bosomi nso a etwemu yi wo mo de mo won kuntabuo bia fa eye journalist a yedi omunya ye pre binum ya bro binum a omfa ho nsam emra monte.
Magdan warehouse demolition, intimidation through detention. The GJ is also deeply troubled by the attacks and unlawful detention by national security operatives of Joy News journalist Carlos Kaloni and his cameraman who were covering the recent demolition of the McDan warehouse in Accra, owned by businessman Daniel Macaulay, popularly known as McDan. Mr. Kaloni was at the scene on Wednesday, 30th July 2025, documenting the demolition exercise and the growing tensions between civilians and men in military uniform. In a blatant show of disregard for media rights, the journalist was obstructed, hit at the neck, arrested, harassed, and detained while attempting to gather facts and report to the public. This arrest and detention were not based on any justifiable legal grounds. Rather, they appear to be attempts to suppress information and silence scrutiny of the demolition exercise. This is censorship through force and must be condemned in the strongest terms. We demand that the Ghana Police Service and the National Security provides a public explanation for the arrest and detention of Carlos Kaloni and his cameraman. Additionally, we request the immediate release of any findings or internal reviews conducted regarding the uniform officers involved. So any findings or internal reviews conducted regarding the uniform officers involved. The media must be allowed to report freely on public matters without fear of reprisal.
Yet was so near call and several from the comment if it do mantemu na yesu upon and no ever honomo a year University for Development Studies and a beto just say a year computer science student or honomo a year Nyankpala a year campus a year branch Sally for Nuruddin a wajin countryman kwa edifying in sem make us say dear court atana say amasisi no much you say umu ebunukunfu.
Sasemi esie wafi etwa mu September bosom no emu a wotre say samrantie mienu na wono mo ekon oba eho eno enenam so amintimi ho ase eba wono mo entem na no redeem na twa say na ne kanchimen wokosuku UDS ya wono so ewo ho a na so ne kanchimen ni jaya yaya enamo abrantie ba ko susu say wone no etwe empena enti September bosom da na toso adununum ena wumpuni a no redeem ni gefe ya janu ene won ne hihye ho no wo mo ekohu say wewu eda baby a ya wo won sekan e won nipadua no eho ni mobile phone na wokura na eno ayeda wonum hwehwe ya wo mo hu baby afuni ewo eno na police crime unit etra say wonum etrake tetefon ya eno an so mo ko hu say ehye Nuruddin ni sumye ase na wonum ensa eka phone no wo mo hu say Nuruddin asheda ede ni kurai phone asani message ade amani kanjima wajanu a wo pretend say ye wonu wumpuni nu a wo tro say woni nu ejai woni ni hwie senkebe ya obebe hu say wumpuni kura pode wonu an send sa message to post trust say na Nuruddin ya en wo sha dade ni kurai phone esane ni girlfriend woni ni ejai no na wo say wo mudi ni tentesa en wonu kwache no e wo Jubilee Park na nu na Nuruddin eji tu mu say eye no kre wono a ena wode wumpuni phone no esende ni girlfriend no na so no fi a wafiri mu de wonim ho hwe enye wono ena ekumu abrantie no Tamale High Court trese ni hwehwemu ni ade a koso fa ho nyina bia di adanse pefe se Nuruddin ena eku abrantie a na wone no ekun oba ho enam so kwama ni girlfriend eja no enu nti no court ne keka niema esi enu no wabua no kumfo
Area Premtobere Kasie bo ana oguso wohwe o fedro so no eya gudi mu ensem sports doctor Sly why crowd what it was so you try one basisia
and ebusu edamanso a wode siesie nipadua nani nanso medie Mercy Skin Care Products manage ho say ema meridia ne yemoton na afenso ene te wine ebra mede won samana no titiru ejare papa di awie sane me nipadua no ho hia menti enti na me de da Mercy Skin Products won samana ani won kuno same de sra metirimu a ema metirinwi no te yirayiro na afenso efuyie eyare wobe to say emfuanini anase pimples eyam ensa wansa wa be say nipadua nani ena afenso yarewa etumi be ha nipadua no ema esei eyefiri ho so pende dodoatu frɛ 0202 511 214 anase 0243 250 702 Mercy Ointment shisha kokuam samua emma nipadua na ho ofe ededi
Sada uboi Ghana Food and Drugs Authority ayemu nhwehwemu edi wonsa ahyase.
Ashafo ofan yedu ewo Premtobere Kasie ne eya gudie mu nsem na mosonfo Sylvester Akwada sports doctor mede eto aso edi amamu mesha se de na mesha se ewo GFA omaso ye endra na chese nyame aduma omutimi unveil 2025-2026 Ghana Premier League ne betujan partner just what me partner obeboa ema league abeye krabehwe we na sports and recreation minister honorable Kofi Idi Adam odinenim ekote chiache so okode nsemi etuja o say de betumi aye o my Ghana your football no so aye krabehwe say you invest a lot of money into that near sound so yeah market your leagues to say the amanfuro eyo omode na ema omo league na amanfo bebre de bia ne abibia no omani edi ekira omohwe no.
In today's football economy, a club is more than a team. It is a business. Invest in marketing, publicity, and community engagement. It's no longer an option. You must do it if you really want to succeed as clubs. And so take that seriously. It is also essential, ladies and gentlemen, to, as a matter of urgency, take seriously your home-based supports and don't disappoint them. We must also prioritize consistency in our players. The days where we just keep them for one season and the next moment they are going should not be the case anymore. Fans often go to the stadiums not only to support clubs, and we have come to realize this, but to watch the stars who inspire them. In years past, before the great rivalry of Ronaldo and Messi captured the world, you knew, and I knew, and I still remember very well, Ghanaian football was electrified by the rivalry between the likes of Charles Taylor and Bernard Dombotti. We have had this before, so we can engineer it again. Today, you only hear of the Messis and then the rest, but we will create our own situation. And I say thank you to the GFA and at the sub-production for accepting to have this partnership.
Yeah, to us, Ewan Kasemua or Sansu Eddie to just Omo Babayana Ghana Premier League no Ababaya competitive and Asansu Aya attractive Emma amount for patronizing.
This aligns with our broader strategy to leverage private sector investment to transform sports, especially football, which remains, and we all know, our national passion. I've heard some tell me, you can do well in every sport, but make sure that we qualify for the World Cup also. If we don't, you are in trouble. It tells you what football does in our homes. By what we are doing today, we are telling them we are not only going to work hard to qualify for the World Cup, but we are going to make sure that our leagues become competitive and attractive. It is also consistent with our national sports policy, positioning sports as a catalyst for economic development, youth employment, and international branding. For far too long, our football clubs have operated on shoestring budgets, relying heavily on limited government subvention and occasional sponsorship. This has often meant compromise of what? Standards. They don't work to standards. Dwindling enthusiasm and a mass exodus of our finest talent to foreign leagues. Indeed, we just returned from Morocco. One interesting thing I observed, some of the teams we came against had 6 or more players all playing in one club in their various countries. So they have played together, they understand each other. It wasn't only the camping period that they had opportunity to play together. But because our league system is not that strong, you have to pick players from individual clubs. And so if you don't get enough time to put them together, it becomes a challenging situation for you. And I know this partnership we launched today is also aimed at solving these problems. So our national teams will have players playing together.
Yeah, to us, any ancient former Black Star player, Yimano Ajima Bedu, or say 1 million Ghana cedis na a club ahuro nina and Sakan, a betimi abwa emamu ahihamo, upcoming Ghana Premier League 2025-2026 na a betimi ashas and Yamiaduma September Bosumia and Chibia Ebabi Rumi.
You could see a lot of smiles on my face, and at long last, our great Ghana Premier League will get a lot of attention, and it's a very heartwarming news this morning from the FA and their sponsorship. And we need to commend the FA at first because they have passed a lot of turbulences to get to where they are now, and when things are going on well, we need to praise them. 1 million Ghana cedis before the start of the league is a huge progress in our league and for the clubs as well, because we all know how the management of the clubs are struggling, and now we can have a very good well-being of the players as well. Normally when you are 6 months, then our stars are leaving, and now with such huge money, I think we can have a very good salary for the players so that they can comfortably stay in the league, so that we can lure a lot of supporters to the stadium. So for the whole week, I think today is one of the big smiles on my face, and we are really happy that at long last we are getting where we want to be.
Yeah, to us, and General Director Edema NSA National Sports Authority ya Ampofu Ankra na so ye odin sembia babituja efa Barbara Sports Stadium no nsendo ode atuja ne se Ghana yame adoma September nchebe eba bewem yetimi qualify and as yetimi ebo ya matches nyina e baba ye nyina ewie for World Cup qualify
after the qualifiers. However, if anything changes between now and then, it would after the qualifiers. However, if anything changes between now and then, it would definitely be communicated to all of us.
Yeah, to us, and Jennifer Kujo na asoye, Chanduso Oka, Mbana, Chess, Mukosi, Akai, Ewo, Morocco African Cup no 2024 mbande na omutumi eje bronze edeba oman Ghana mo odin sembia betuja omse omobon paye na omusanso de nyuma etutu akwamisi bia nyame adoma next time omutumi ekopiem ewo sa tournament mi bi sema omudi good de ebebefe enye bronze nko a.
I mean, it feels incredible. It feels amazing. That's why it's like you don't doubt people. You don't judge book by its cover. You read the whole story, start from beginning to the end. So it's always been. I know that sometimes people see the journey and they think that it's over. Like now, the game has changed. So it doesn't matter how you start; it's how you finish. So yeah, we're definitely going to aim for the gold.
Nebewa kwa musumfu Sylvester kwa the sports doctor awukensi amede to us ewo Premtobere Kasie mudibesi na adwapinama ene na aka no atoa muso.
And ebusu edamanso a wode siesie nipadua nani nanso medie Mercy Skin Care Products manage ho say ema meridia ne yemoton na afenso ene te wine ebra mede won samana no titiru edware papadie wie sane emi nipadua ne ho hia menti enti na medie da Mercy Skin Products won samana ene won kuno samede sra metirimu a ema metirinwi ne te yirayiro na afenso efuyi Eyare webe to say, Enfronini, anase pimples, Eyam, and sawansa webe say ni pedianani, and afe so, Yarewa, etumi beha ni pediano, Emma essay, a yefru. So pen the to Frey 0202 511 214, anasa 0243 250 702, Mercy Ointment, Shishako Puam Samoa. Emma ni pediana ho ofe ededi.
Sada uboyi Ghana Food and Drugs Authority ayemu nhwehwemu edi wonsa ahyase.
Mamina was a wajibre nowadays at train your federal sunu bora amanone ensem emudia. Na yako US mino emu na US man penny Donald Trump make us say dear. But you must say what dear 12 for cry way a year for cry what dear to a mamma ya would wobe breswa woman more edidra.
US man penny Donald Trump sa ashe enkrata asye wasanso ede 12 fro ede aba watch say if 10% copy 41% ya amaya hudo no a wonum de niam hudo fi wonum kromo ebe piemu ewo US man mu no wode sa toy ede ato wonum eso na wo sa executive order wode ne sa hyase no da ene osi sa gina no enu nti no Canadian goose ebe piemu US wonum so toy ebi aka wo mo ene afei amai afufro beye eduosia enkron 69 ana wode saa toy atoto wo so a ni na no wo trese ebeboa no pa na wo se wo hwe emprempre yimpo no a se beye na isuyire a esie ana afe enubone ni adeade a nipa bi edi hudwa wo behwe no waso saa yo no ano no enu ka hu bi enu nti ene watu saa na mo no won krata fi empenfo akachi fi US mine mu aba no wasanso de tudwa ekyerɛkyerɛ ɛto ahodwa wode ato aman bia wɔnom ani wɔn edi edwaso ne sadia wɔn besifa kra atua wɔnom ɛto no na no no wasan kyerɛ sɛ wɔnom asanso abra wɔn asanso asiginaye bi ɛde afa enema wɔnom ɛkra efri Washington eye wonum trading partners in temu Australia and after United Kingdom womu eka ho ebie watchre say womu de womu to no be 10% and as say we twa to wonum etisuo and after so no wo hwe eye trading partners bi so womu de no eye 15% sa na enemu ebimu de eye be 40%. US man penny